What's up, YouTube? Dave here, back at you with another video. This time we're going to do a fish room update, a long overdue fish room update. We've had a lot of changes in the den, and we just want to go ahead and go through and let's talk about everything that's going on in the den. I must say, it really looks like a nursery with all the changes and starting over with a bunch of small fish, but let's talk about it. Without further ado, let's get into this video. All right, guys, we'll kick this tour off in my den with one of my 310-gallon aquariums. A couple of months back, I did a video on the install of these two tanks. I have them stacked in my den. I'm really happy with the way this tank is turning out. I call this my Veha grow out tank, or one of my Veha grow out tanks. It's got a couple of my favorite species in here, Argentine, Synspillum, which these guys are off of my old breeder male that I had beast, as well as some Bacordi. The Bacordi and the Argentine, most of this stuff came from Cichlids of America. Shout out to Dan. Thanks a lot for allowing me to get these guys. This lone alpha that you see in this aquarium, I got from Max Cichlids. I've got a couple of those guys, and I just purchased a small group from Cichlids of the Americas in hopes of getting some females to pair with these guys to add to my breeding program. But I'm really happy with the way this tank is turning out. And as you can see, everything has very, very good coloration. All right, this leads us to my second 310-gallon aquarium. This is right below the previous tank, and in this tank I've changed up a bit. I believe the last time we saw this tank I had some of my Criboheros grow outs. I've since moved those guys to another tank, and I've moved my group of Marble Fenestratum breeders here. These guys are doing great. In fact, I think I have two pair bonds that have formed. Once these guys actually solidify that bond and proceed with a spawn, I'm going to pull these guys. I've got some tanks out in the fish room that I've earmarked for these breeders, so that I can actually get these guys spawning with some frequency. I've had a lot of requests, people looking for these, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some effort into trying to really maximize my yield with these guys. All right, guys, this is my secondary Veha grow out tank. This is my 240-gallon stack. This is the upper tank. This is just across the way from my 310-gallon tank stack. You'll notice that big male alpha. This is the second male that I spoke about earlier. In this tank, we've got some Regani grow outs, a handful of Nicaraguans, and a few Bruteri, as well as some Lentiginosum grow outs. But everything in this tank is doing very well. These guys are starting to put on some size. You may recall these guys, the Lents and the Regani, as well as the Nicaraguans from some previous unboxing videos. But I just wanted to show you these guys. They're coming in really nice, and I'm really pleased with the growth as well as the coloration that these guys are starting to put on. Yeah, if you guys been following my channel for any length of time, you can pretty much tell there's certain species of cichlids, centrals, that I really have taken a shine to, and probably some way, shape, or form in my fish room, some iteration, I've always had Regani or Argentine or one or two of these species in my tank. It's just cichlids that I just love. right, and last but not least would be my second 240-gallon aquarium. I'm basically referring to this as my nursery tank because most of the small fish that I received on my last order, which you can check out in the last video that I did, the fish unboxing, wound up in this aquarium. We have tuba, we have bulleri, not Argentine, ultrafrons, and one more, Panamensis. And so far so good. Everything is getting along well. Everything has very good appetites, and everything seems to be healthy. My plan for this tank is much like the other aquariums, is to grow all these species out and hopefully attain some breeders and be able to reproduce these species with some regularity. I really want to see what these tuba wind up looking like. I've got the Rio Burrow collection point like Jim Cummins, and I really like the way his have turned out. So I'm hoping for the same result. All right, one more tank. This is a 75-gallon aquarium that I have in my den. And in this tank, I have my Dovei grow outs. You may recall from one of my previous videos, what fish unboxing video I did, that I received a group of these from my buddy Rodney in California, and these guys are doing great. I've got a few in here that are really starting to stretch out, and again, this is one that I've kept before. If you've watched any of my older videos or followed my channel for a while, you'll recall seeing some of my Dovei tank videos and spawning videos with these guys. A very, very beautiful cichlid, not really as well known as say Carpenthus, but a beautiful cichlid in its own right. One I would highly recommend. This one really gets better with age. I was introduced to this species by a buddy of mine, Craig Robinson, and he had some of these in his fish room. And this, again, like I said, I had never seen this species before, and I thought it was a flower horn. It was so pretty. But nevertheless, these guys are doing really well. Same plan for these guys is to get some breeders and hopefully be able to reproduce these and share these with some of my fellow hobbyists. All right, let's head out to the fish room. This first species we'll look at, this is another fish pair that I received from my buddy Rodney. Again, shout out to Rodney, always coming through. This is a pair of Rio Camelate bean eye, and I must say, these guys are phenomenal. I think, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think they may be close to coming into breeding condition and preparing for a spawn. But this is the female. You can see that her color pattern starting to change a little. Really gonna keep my eyes on these guys. I really want to see if I can get a spawn on them, because I've kept this species before and they will spawn at this size. This female is maybe 4 inches and the male may be pushing 5 inches. You can see this guy here, very good appetites. If you decide to keep the species, just be aware that this is one that is very susceptible to bloat. So this is one you want to be careful with, not overfeed. But nevertheless, a beautiful cichlid in its own right, and I'm so happy that I was fortunate to get these guys. I'm hoping that I can reproduce these guys as well and be able to share these with some of my fellow hobbyists. All right, let's take a look at my red Dovei grow outs. These were from a previous spawn off my large pair. Uh, these guys, if I had to guess, I'd say they're somewhere in about that 5.5 inch range. They're currently housed in a 40-gallon breeder that I've got segregated into 3 bays. I know uh, relatively soon I'm going to have to be moving these guys to a much larger tank. Excuse the glass. I really wanted to get this video out. I probably should have spent a little time doing some housekeeping, cleaning the glass, but nonetheless, these guys are doing great. They have voracious appetites, and you can tell that this is really a predatory species by the way they attack the food when I feed these guys. This particular one that you see right now on the screen, I actually nursed this one back. It was on the brink of death. I'd been beaten up pretty badly by its siblings, and I was able to nurse it back. But like I said, I'm going to have to be moving these guys to a larger tank fairly soon because they're really starting to hit their stride and really starting to put on some size. All right, we'll move over to this is a 180-gallon aquarium. If you recall from a previous video, I've had these guys for a few months now. The Rostratum and the Nursery were grouped together in a 125-gallon. Made some changes, moved some things around, so I decided to move these guys to a 180-gallon aquarium. And I've got this one pair of Alpharida formed. I decided to go ahead and move them in here as well. Knock on wood, so far so good. Everything seems to be doing well. These guys are, I can't say anything bad about them. They're doing really well. They've got great appetites. Again, I really can't wait to see these guys put on some size and really see them reach an adult size and mature coloration. The one lone species that I have yet to be able to find that I really would like to get that's in the Scribberharris family is Ratisma. So if you guys got any leads on those, drop me a line. I'm looking forward to getting some of those. All right, next up is my South American or Geophagus community tank. This is a 225-gallon aquarium. This is probably my oldest aquarium that I have. I've been probably having this tank since the early 90s, but no matter. The banded cichlids that I've had, the Dacra, the Gaiankara Dacra that you guys may recall were in the 75. I've moved these guys in here and I've added some Hecali, some redhead Tapajos, as well as some Savini, and I've got some Festivum, as well as a couple of different species of tetras just for visual interest. And I have to say, this is a very interesting tank. With all the movement, your eye is drawn to it. At some point in the future, I hope to move this entire tank into an 8-foot aquarium, and I hope to combine this tank with my planted aquarium that I have inside, and I think it'll look really nice. But that's this is really for display purposes only. So if they spawn, hey, that's great. If not, this is just something that I've always had a penchant to do. All right, this is a group of German-bred Feste, some grow-outs that I acquired from my buddy Eric Williams. These guys are doing really well. I've got this group and they're probably not going to be on this video, but I've got another group in a Rubbermaid pond that I'm growing out that I got from my buddy James Decker. James has really got some nice Feste, but these guys are doing really well. I'm really, fingers crossed, I really would like to get a pair of these guys going. I think this male is going to be one of those more greenish variant males, and I think the ones that I got from my buddy James is more of the orange coloration. So I'd like to, when it's all said and done, I'd like to actually have a pair of these and a pair of Decker's line as well. But these guys are doing really great. You can see here they're starting to put on some size. All right, and here we have my breeding pair of red Dovei. You can see the female, she's recovering from doing battle with this big male, trying to coax her into spawning. For whatever reason, she really puts up a fight. I've had several batches that she's laid, but she won't let this guy fertilize them for whatever reason. But what I've done is I've actually put them in a tank that's divided with another pair of fish on the other side, hoping that this will encourage the bond and hopefully get them over the hump, and hopefully we get another spawning of these guys, because the video quality here really doesn't do them justice. This male is gorgeous when you catch him in the right light, and the female is not too bad either. You know, she's a little worse for the wear right now because he's been kind of picking on her, but you know, these guys, you saw some of their offspring, so they produce some nice fish. I really hope I can get them over the hump and we can get them spawning again. But you know, like I said, been having these guys for a while. I've been trying a couple of different things, and so this is the latest and greatest. We got them divided with another pair of fish on the other side of the divider, hoping that this will encourage or strengthen the pair bond and get these guys to spawn again. All right, so opposite the divider, on the other side of the divider from the red Dovei pair, is this newly acquired male. My buddy Herb had this guy with his own female, and there was a mishap and he lost the female, and I had a spare female, so we decided to put these two together, and I put them opposite the red Dovei pair, again like I said before, in the hopes of strengthening the pair bond between the Dovei and hopefully getting this guy to take to this other female. So this will be a secondary pair of Trimacs. This guy's got some really great markings, beautiful finnage, just a really nice specimen. And you can see this female, she's considerably smaller than the male. So we're hoping that everything goes very well with them, and we can get these guys to spawn for us as well. So just above the red Dovei tank is this pair of red spot Gouda lamb. These guys have spawned for me before, and I don't think you can quite see it in this pot in this particular video, but since recording this, these guys have spawned again, and I was just in the fish room and noticed that they've hatched, and she's got the clutch in the back of the pot. So this is another species that we may have available in the upcoming months. But these guys are doing really well. Very beautiful cichlid. Can't say much more about them. And just across the way from the red spot Gouda lambs, I've got a divider, and I've got this this large male. It's Lanum. You may recall this guy was one of my breeders, and after Hurricane Ida, the female was a casualty. But nonetheless, we're continuing to push on. I was able to locate some more from Cichlids of the Americas. I've got a small group of these guys, and hopefully as they grow out, I can identify some females so I can put with this guy, because he is absolutely stunning and he's a very good producer. Okay, and just across the way from the big male Lanum is the tank housing the grow outs. I've got 6 of these guys, and if I had to speculate, I'd say they're probably ranging in the area of 2.5 to maybe 3.25 inches. If you recall from one of my some of my older videos, these guys will spawn at a smaller size, so I'm hoping it won't take long before I'm able to identify a really nice female that hopefully I can continue breeding with that big male. All right, and this is the prolific TriMag pair that I got from my buddy Rodney. These guys paired off probably in less than a week, and within about 5 or 6 days, these guys had their first spawn. If I had to venture to say, I think this is probably their 5th or 6th time spawning, and I know Trimacs are usually relatively easy to spawn, and I hadn't had any problem with them spawning. I keep having issues with them eating the fry. I said that I was going to pull the male this time, but they seem to be doing so well, so I left them in. But you can see here they have a ton of fry. For whatever reason, I don't know if it's the male wanting to spawn again, but they dwindled down within about a week or two. And last but not least, well, not last, I've got one more tank I want to share with you guys, but this is the Melaneurum group. If you recall from one of my older videos, these guys were actually inside in, I think, one of the 240-gallon aquariums. I may have moved them to the 310, but I wasn't sure if I'd actually done a video, a Fishroom update at that particular point in time. But these guys were actually in the house. I've lost a couple, so I've got a smaller group, so I decided to move these guys outside and make better use of the 8-foot aquarium. But nonetheless, these guys are doing really great. You can see this male is my dominant breeder male, is in excellent coloration, great shape. I'm hoping that these guys will be coming into breeding condition before too long, and hopefully I can have another spawn of these guys, because I really like this cichlid. I think it's a beautiful cichlid. It's one that I don't think really gets as much attention as some of the others, but it's a beautiful cichlid nonetheless. All right, and last but not least are my Real Mag Umbi grow outs. Start out with 10 of these guys I got from my buddy Paul Suleiman. Currently I've got 6 remaining, but the 6 that I do have are doing excellent. These guys are voracious eaters, and the coloration is really wonderful. So hopefully we'll get a pair formed from these guys before too long. I just want to take a moment out to say thank you guys for all the support through all the adversity and everything that we've been going through down here in Louisiana. I want to again say thank you for your support. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting the people people that incurred loss after the storm. So again, thank you. And without you guys, none of this would be possible. So thanks again for watching my video. And you guys have a great day.